So in today's video, I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite tools, favorite resources as a business owner. And before I even get into them, just want to state that I don't have any affiliation with any of these companies, with any of these tools, resources, whatever you want to call them. Just sharing the ones that I use and the ones that I like. And also in this video, if you have any thoughts on platforms or companies or tools that you like, please share those in the comment section. I think that'd be valuable for myself and for other viewers of the channel and of this specific video. And so by tools and resources, platforms, businesses that I use, I mostly mean like software, being that I'm a business advisor, a business management consultant. It's a service-based business where I'm mostly in my office, using my computer and phone and different forms of technology. So I'm mostly speaking about software and not like power tools and stuff like that, like maybe a tradesperson would be using. So for the first form of software that I like using, this is for email. So for personal use, I'll use Gmail, and for the most part, I really like Gmail. But for business purposes, I have my own domain name, and then I actually use Outlook as the platform for doing email. And I really like Outlook, for the most part. It has a lot of good features. I like that you can flag emails. I like that you can pin emails. And so what I'll do, when I get to my office in the morning is pin my new emails that are important that I need to get to for that day. And of course, there are a lot of other features that I really like with Outlook, but that's just one of the main ones that came to mind for me. But so yeah, I like Outlook as an email platform for sure, and I definitely recommend it. Now, in terms of design stuff, so I design thumbnails for these YouTube videos. I do some Instagram posts and Facebook posts, and sometimes, doing things for formal business plans, like creating cover pages or graphics or things like that, or even sometimes making like video reels. And for that type of stuff, I mostly use Canva, and I really like Canva. There is a free account that you can get. There's also a premium account that you can get, but it's a very good tool, platform for creating that type of content, whether that's for designs for documents, or even I design my business cards on Canva. So very useful and really quite easy to use as well. And now the next thing would be for social media. And for social media, this depends. There's no right answer. There's LinkedIn, there's TikTok, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, or X as it's called now. There's so many different platforms, and it kind of depends on what you prefer and what makes most sense for your viewers, your clients, your network. But for me, I prefer YouTube just because I'm making this longer form. I mean, not super long form, but most of my videos are around 5 minutes, and it's more evergreen content. A lot of the videos that I make now would have been useful 10 years ago and will still be useful in 10 years. Whereas if I were to post that stuff on Instagram is a little bit more like short-term and immediate, for advertising a sale or doing some sports highlights or something like that. It's not so good for evergreen content and for explaining in more detail as I am in videos like this. So for that, I really do like YouTube, but again, for other businesses, maybe Instagram is the best for them. Maybe LinkedIn is the best for them. It really just depends on your goals, your audience, and what you're trying to share. Now, the next thing would be for calendar booking software. So for myself on my website, you can book a free initial consultation with me. The clients I have that are existing clients, they book follow-up consultations. Sometimes I book meeting with, partners or just other business professionals I want to connect with. And for that, there are a lot of different options for that type of, meeting scheduling or calendar booking software, whatever you want to call it. But the one I use is called Kowalender, like koala bear and calendar mixed together. So I really like that platform. It's quite similar to Calendly, and I just find it's pretty easy to work with, a lot of functionality, a lot of options for customization. It embeds into my website, so I'm not sending people to like a different website to book in with me. So yeah, I find that to be a pretty useful tool, and it's not very expensive either. So that's one I recommend, at least for certain businesses, certain service providers, especially in the healthcare industry. They might want something different, but Kowalender works well for me as like a business services provider. Now, the next thing would be for website hosting, domain name purchases, and website building tools. And in this category, there are lots of different options. There are websites where you can purchase domain names. There are websites that just do hosting, and there are websites or companies where you can actually have like a website builder. There's WordPress and Squarespace and Wix and GoDaddy and plenty other ones, and it's becoming easier and easier to build your own website without having like a coding background. But for me, I'm pretty happy with GoDaddy. That's where I purchased my domain name. I set up my website, and that's where it's hosted, and that's where I built it. And there are limitations with GoDaddy when it comes to editing your website, but it is also pretty easy to use. So, with a platform like WordPress, there's more options, there's more flexibility, but I do find it harder to use. So kind of depends on what your goal is. And now the next thing would be for video call software. Again, some businesses maybe don't care about this, but I do video calls regularly, not every day, but almost every day. So, and for that, I know Zoom is the most popular, but I actually use Google Meet, and I like Google Meet as a video call option. I like the features. It's simple, it's easy to use. It syncs well with my calendars and booking software and things like that. So it's a good option. And now one other tool that I use, one form of software, or I guess in this case, an app, would be just a password keeper app that I have on my phone. So as someone living in current times, we have lots of accounts that we log into, for personal stuff like banking or Netflix, for business stuff, maybe like tax accounts or emails or things like that. We have a lot of login information to track, and so I like to keep that all in a password keeper on my phone where I have a password to actually access that. So that's a good way to keep track of all your login information for all your different business and personal accounts, if you're comfortable with that. I haven't had any issues with it, but feel free just to find one on whatever app store or app provider that you use that maybe has a good rating and has good functionality for you. And now when it comes to printing things, whether that's business cards or flyers or posters or even like t-shirts and hats or whatever it might be, kind of promotional products, I guess you could say, sometimes it's a good option just to work with a local print shop in your region, in your city. That can be great. I really like using Vistaprint. They've been good. They have a lot of different options for promotional products, even stickers and decals and magnets and stuff like that. And I find them to have good pricing, and they're quick and responsive. And if you're not happy or if the product doesn't turn out the way it's supposed to, they're good about replacing it for free. So definitely recommend Vistaprint for a lot of that stuff. And then I have two more, the last one being for teaching platforms. And again, I know there's a lot of websites and platforms where you can create online courses. I have done some on Skillshare before. Currently, I have one on Teachable, and I've been pretty happy with Teachable. I like the layout, the kind of user experience, the user interface of Teachable, both from the back-end perspective of the course creator, but also for the student perspective. So again, there are a lot of different options when it comes to, finding platforms for creating online courses, but that's one that I recommend and has, worked quite well for me so far. And then the last thing would be for payment. So I don't have a physical POS system, whereas if you have like a retail store, then obviously you'll want that. For me, I just sometimes collect payments online, and for that, you can use options like PayPal is really common, Stripe is really common, Square is common, and there's a lot more companies that are growing in that space and offering more services and making it more competitive. Currently, I'm using Stripe, and I find it to be pretty good. I find their back-end user interface is sometimes hard to navigate. The front-end stuff can look pretty good, so that's one that works quite well. I know PayPal works quite well too, and I'm currently looking into a different one as well. So this would be a good one where if you have a good online payment platform where you can collect credit card payments, especially, if there's one that you like that works well for you, please share that in the comment section below, because I'd like to hear that. But that's all I have for today for sharing the tools and the resources that I like to use in my business. Hopefully that was helpful. If so, please click like. And if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I currently have about 180 videos that cover business management and business startup topics like this.